Alright guys, welcome back to In Too Deep. Last time I showcased the sale of my Hatteras. It was a sad day, sad time, sad video, but now I've got the Broward, my 70-foot Broward that I've been working on. This summer has been absolutely insane. I've basically split my time between working on the Broward and working at the Marina, to support this insane boat. In order to be able to afford the repairs on this thing, I've really been working hard at the Marina this summer. So in this video, I'm going to showcase all of the work that I've done to the Broward so far, and I'm going to show you guys what I've been up to at the Marina all summer. Everything from hauling boats to fixing boats, working on motors, you name it, I've done it here. And it's been a whole lot of fun. So tag along as we go through the Broward in the first part of this video, and then in the second part of this video, I take you through basically my life at the Marina and what I've been up to. But before we go any further, I've got to share some exciting news. Future plans with the Broward. I am taking this thing back down south from Maine. I am absolutely ecstatic to do this. And the best part, I'm going to the Bahamas this year. Last year, some major life events got in the way of going to the Bahamas, but everything happens for a reason, I'll tell you. I'm back better than ever now, and I can't wait to adventure this season. So when I go to the Bahamas this year, I need to make sure that I can stay in touch with all my friends, families, important people, you guys. Fortunately, I've found a very simple and cost-effective solution to this problem. And that's why I'm going to take a moment right now to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Holofly. Holofly takes away the worries of international cellular communication by utilizing eSIM technology. eSIMs are digital SIMs that you can activate instantly. They arrive in just under a minute via WhatsApp or email, and they are so easy to set up. eSIMs are not compatible with every phone just yet, but you can go to Holofly's website to find out if your phone is compatible. For example, the brand new iPhone 15 doesn't even use a physical SIM card anymore. It's all eSIM. But my older iPhone, which does have a physical SIM card, is also eSIM compatible. And the likelihood of your phone being eSIM compatible, very high. So go to Holofly's website to check your phone's compatibility. Holofly provides truly unlimited data plans. There's no hidden fees. There's nothing behind the scenes. The Holofly app makes it so easy to manage your eSIMs. And best of all, it is so cost effective. I can get my eSIM for the Bahamas right now for under $60. And it's good for 30 days. It's easy on the wallet. It's easy to set up. And quite frankly, it's an invaluable tool for travelers. With over 200 destinations worldwide, 8 regional plans, 152 destinations with unlimited data, and almost just as many destinations with hotspot capability to make sure that you can stay connected with unlimited data and get your work done. If you're traveling or plan to travel internationally, definitely check out Holofly. Make sure to use the discount code INTODEEP to get 5% off your purchase, and check out Holofly's website using the link in the description of this video. Holofly will save you time and money by allowing you to connect to the world's most reliable international cellular networks without needing to change phones, change physical SIM cards, or without getting surprised by outrageous bills that you get from using your phone internationally with your domestic data plan. That's happened to me. Thank you to Holofly for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get right into it. All right. So I am heading down into the engine room. So I am down in the engine room right now. And here was one big question that I never answered. This starboard side engine would not spool up. It just would not spool up. And everyone was wondering, why wouldn't it spool up? What's wrong with it? I was looking at the fuel system, and I cleaned the rake cores out, and I did this and I did that. Well, what I believe it to be is this intercooler is completely plugged up. I mean, that's my educated guess. So the intercooler on the port side engine has clearly been serviced. All the bolts are new, the gaskets are new, the hoses are new. So essentially I ordered the gaskets for this intercooler. When it's apart, I'll change the hoses. I'm gonna take it off and we're gonna see if it's clogged. I bet you it is severely clogged. So let's get removing, shall we? All right, so here's the intercooler. I got it off, and she goes right here. See that? That is the transmission pump, and this is the stabilizer pump. Hydraulic pump, hydraulic pump. One's for the tranny, one's for the stabilizers. So here she is. That thing looks pretty damn clogged. So I'm gonna go bring it up to the shop. We're gonna pull it apart. We're gonna see just how clogged she is. This boat should rip after this and get better fuel mileage and not smoke. Let's pull this bad mamma jamma apart. So far, it looks completely packed with stuff on the inside. Completely. All right, so we definitely found why it won't spool here. Look at how clogged the freaking intercooler is. It is completely clogged with stuff. Oh my, so that's what it's supposed to look like on that side. This side, completely clogged. I mean, you're talking minuscule airflow through that. Air just can't get through that. That's insane. Wow. And the other one is just like it too. So air needs to flow all the way through this from both sides. Just completely clogged. Totally freaking clogged. Wow. So I'm gonna get that cleaned right up. Hopefully, maybe I'll put them in some solvent. We'll try that first. Alrighty. So I've got all of our components cleaned out. These are the new gaskets. There's the old hardware. Some of it, a lot of it's still good, but I'm gonna replace it all just cause whatever. Found some old hose inside. Got some new hose here. New old hose. And I am going to reassemble. Look at this, I got these things nice and clean. This thing is going to spool now. Alrighty, so I got the intercooler all patched back up, clean, ready to go. Some new hoses, some new clamps, and now I'm gonna give her a nice coat of paint. It doesn't get that hot, so it shouldn't need any sort of crazy paint, but I'll coat her up. We'll be good to go. Alright guys, I got a lot of questions about, did you figure out why the motor wouldn't spool up? Well, now that you've watched me rebuild, well, not really rebuild, but clean and reassemble with new gaskets and bolts and hardware and whatnot, the intercooler on the starboard side engine, I am proud and glad to tell you that it is fixed. This thing spools right up now. She's a spooler. I need to clean up a little of the grease that I did here and there and everywhere, but there's no leaks. There's no nonsense. I slapped it back on and it is just good to go. Took it out for a ride. It spools up now. Like, whew, this boat rocks. 15 knots at 2,000 RPM, burning, I don't even want to know how many gallons an hour because I'm never going to run it at that speed, but it rocks. This boat freaking rocks, and it gets so stable at high speed. It's insane. So, very glad about that. Oh, I do see. Is that water or is that coolant? I think we have water down there. Oh, I know why water's down there, because my water pump blew apart last night and I had to fix a broken hose. Phew! All right, one of Kip's favorite things is air conditioning here. So what are you looking at over there?
A compressor. And a big, huge, what's humming is your starters. Start capacitors. You got it regular or Phillips head? Or regular?
Here you go.
Hold on, I gotta...
Alright, so we're making
So this is just-
places.
This is just, this leak over here, Gus, water leak,
Yeah?
is just like a union, plastic union.
There's a lot of little water leaks.
Yeah, but look at the union right here. Someone hacked in with a glue. See that? That's just that. That's an O-ring in there.
Alright, so it is the Sunday after arriving back at the marina with the boat. Me and Kip have been messing around with this thing. What are you doing over here?
Someone with not a lot high caliber IQ inserted something into a slot that did not fit.
So some of the things that we've done here are, I took this door off and I brought it up to the wood shop so I could refinish it, make it look good.
Real good at taking things apart.
Real good at taking things apart. Fixing the wipers.
I'm gonna go back to school for the rest.
Yeah. Fix the wipers, making the sprayer work. Here's all the pieces that go into
look,
this sprayer. You got it out?
I got it.
Nice. Down in the engine room, we had been messing around with the air conditioning, figured out a whole lot about the air conditioning system, and should have that online. The chiller. Should have that online pretty soon. Other than that, just putzing around with stuff. Once you get it all back together, I'll give the full rundown on what has been fixed so far. But just a whole lot of fixing. Took the pressure washer off the fly bridge, launched the dinghy. Gonna get the dinghy off to a shop to see if they can retube that thing, make it look good, / hold air. Other than that, just a fine Sunday.
Electronics should only be used as a backup.
Electronics.
So it says right on the card.
Does it?
Yep.
Getting the whole chiller system for the air conditioning fixed is going to be huge for this boat. It has a lot of bad air handlers, which is the part that the water flows through, but Kip seems to think we can fix them.
We can fix them.
I want to put mini splits. Fixable. What do you have to say about me wanting to put mini splits in this thing?
That is a RV piece of shit. POS.
He only does things right.
Not a marina.
Everything gets done right if he's involved, which is good. All right, so I'm starting to dig into the freshwater system in the boat. Basically, there's no water going to the forward at all. The aft has cold water, no hot water. I've messed around with a couple valves and saw that stuff is spraying everywhere. Well, water's spraying everywhere. So I'll show you what I found here. This line I took off. This was the first sprayer I noticed. This whole frickin' boat froze. That line, literally. So that's why I'm dealing with all these issues with the air conditioning system, with the fresh water system, just because the boat froze. So that's gonna make a lot of different other things come to fruition, I guess one could say. So yeah, I'm gonna pull this out and I'm just gonna patch that with some nylon tubing for now. And well, I know it would be actually really easy to replace this, but until I know that I'm not gonna have to replace like extreme lengths of copper tubing, I'm just gonna patch stuff and we'll go from there. Another problem was that this looks like the cold water feed to the front of the boat. So this, I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like they tried to fix it. Maybe they fixed it and they realized that it was leaking downstream. So after that, I'll find the valve to shut this off and then I'll go from there to try and figure out what's up with that. So those are my first two. From there, I can turn the water on and we'll see what happens. All right, so I have successfully fixed the entire freshwater system for now. I ended up replacing the booster pump with another pump that I got. The booster pump was like really expensive, so I got this pump and it does quite the job. The only difference is that it's not variable speed, which is fine. It cranks it right up 50 psi. I ended up replacing a lot of lines here. I didn't replace this full run of line yet because I think I'm gonna end up replacing it where it goes all the way up under the helm over there. But I did replace a couple big sections with PEX. What I like about the PEX is that it's really easy to work with. You don't have to bend it here, there, the other way. And all these new boats are using PEX anyhow, so it's like, I think it's a good alternative. Now, these weren't the only lines that I ended up needing to replace to make this whole freshwater system work. Up in the helm, there were a couple that were blown out. There was one aft that had a small leak that I fixed. I had to replace a couple of the sinks, the faucets, because the valves had cracked open from freezing. So it was quite the adventure, and I was crawling in spaces, but to make a long story short, new pump, and I have every water receptacle in this boat working, except for the washdown at the bow. That broke apart. I capped it in a closet that was in the forward stateroom. And actually that's why they had this cut and plugged, because that was that leak. And I had to like tear the wall apart to get to it. It was quite the extravaganza. But that's fixed now. All right. So right now it is probably about midnight on a Sunday night, and I've been going pretty balls to the walls on the Broward here. I am trying to have this thing ready for the 4th of July. It is, I believe, the 23rd or 24th of June. There's a lot of things that it needs to be really like ready to host people on. One being entire freshwater system, 2 being the most important thing, the sewage system. I'll give you a quick rundown on what's going on with the sewage system. Basically, the forward head works. The other 3 heads are questionable. So this is what I've got going on here. Right here is the output of the macerator inside of this toilet. As you can see, we've got a lot of corroded aluminum back here. This is a really thick aluminum plate that this thing mounts to, but I want to clean all this up and paint it up nice before I put the toilet back in. Anyways, the macerator itself was stuck, so I have it all disassembled here. That's the macerator portion, and then the motor is back there. I need to bring it up, or at least out of the boat, clean it up real nice, and figure out if I'm going to need to get a new motor for it or not. I think it should be good. There's a freshwater leak, or a raw water leak rather, underneath there, where the pump sucks toilet water, and it sucks it all the way from the sea chest that's in the engine room. So that's the master head. Let's move over to the port side guest head. This is what we're dealing with here. This head is totally freaking clogged up with toilet paper and you name it, probably some other disgusting things. So I need to get some gloves and get all this out of there. Oh, fortunately I bleached everything weeks ago, so it doesn't smell all that bad. This is my least favorite endeavor is marine heads. It's literally disgusting, but it's part of the job, I guess. I'll make it work well, and then I won't need to touch it again. All right, so back to work on the heads again. And basically I could not get that head to not leak because I needed a seal kit for it, but I was really trying to get away without getting a seal kit for it, and I'd like to have it working like now. So kept to the rescue with a nice brand new 12-volt toilet that was just sitting in a trailer out back. Freaking thing's pretty sweet, so I'm gonna slap that in there, hook up a relay because it has a different control. And the aft head should, theoretically, be in full operation. So, excited about that. So, right under yonder, I had to take the 2 batteries out, is the sewage bulkhead. I honestly don't even want to touch it without gloves on. It's freaking disgusto. But I'll touch it. All right. So, oh my lordy. Wow, that's pungent. Woo! So, that's the sewage holding tank. As you can imagine, aluminum and sewage water probably don't do very good together. This is the suction tube. So this, I'm actually gonna lay this back down because it is freaking smelly. That tank goes deep though. So there's a big rubber gasket that sits in there. And then down here, this is where the sewage tank lets out. That's where you suck from. This is the deck pump out line. And then this is the overboard discharge line. So essentially this is all plumbed up. I just need to hook it back up. But that's gonna go to the pump suction port, and then these both go to deck pump out and overboard discharge, and then you control them with these ball valves that may or may not work. Ugh. I'll have to try and free those up. Yeah, it's like June 27th or June 28th, and I want to have this boat ready to rip for the 4th of July. That injection pump's leaking. I still need to fix the water pump on this. I think I'm going to leave this together because it still works. In the event I need to run it, I can run it. It'll just leak some diesel, which is really no big deal. But for right now, if you saw the last video, you saw that I had some major leaking oil lines on this engine, the starboard side engine. I'm gonna pull those oil lines off right now and go get new ones made. All right, many hours later, because I got sidetracked, I got 2 new oil lines matched up to the size of the other 2. This one goes to the oil pressure gauge in the engine room from the side of the motor. And then this one goes, for some reason, to the transmission, and it's motor oil. Right to the selector valve assembly on the transmission. I can't quite figure that out. I'm sure I could do some research, but I just removed it, and then I'm going to put it back where it came from. So we'll go do that now and get completely covered in Detroit black motor oil. I must say, the Cummins in the Hatteras are, they don't leak. It's it's a lot easier to work on them too. But I like these Detroits. They frickin' fire right up and they run good. Alrighty, so I snaked this oil line, new oil line. I know it looks all dirty, but it's just because it's all covered in motor oil. But this is the back side of the gauge unit here. This is the back side of the gauge unit. It's pretty nicely wired. And this oil pressure line just goes right to this gauge. So, thread that girl on there. I gotta get her on there with 2 hands, but she goes down the valley of the motor and she ends up right over here, down there where she connects way in there. But that's where the oil cooler, the big oil cooler line connects, and then it goes back to the selector valve assembly on the transmission. I don't quite understand what's going on here. It doesn't look like transmission fluid. I don't see, I mean, this is really the oil cooler with the big line, so I'm wondering why the hell motor oil is leaking out of there and not transmission oil. That really doesn't, what sense does that make? Because the tranny oil is not black like that. Look at this. If it is, then we've got bigger issues. But last time I checked it, it sure as hell was not black like that. No. See, the transmission fluid is like clear. Look at this. Yeah, that's like clear oil. Lightly colored. That's a sample on my arm. Compared to that black. That's motor oil black. Yuck, I'm a mess today. Alright, I'm gonna get her done. So one of the other projects that we tackled on the boat one night was this railing. When I got the boat, it was like someone had just plowed into this thing. This railing was looser than loose. And what I didn't realize is there's no actual hardware holding this down. This is all glued together. So in order to get a really tight glued joint, you need to take this whole thing apart and sand all these pieces down. I had to wire wheel each one of these metal bars individually, both ends, and then gape out the holes at the bottom and the top in order to fill them with epoxy and set this thing back up. It was quite the endeavor, so I'm going to show you that right now. Our railing job came out freaking spectacular. It's so much stronger than it was. We just need to nail this trim back up and then she's brand new. I have a new head downstairs. Kip saved the day, had one laying out in the trailer. Need to install that head. And check this out. So I wanted to put a regular old macerator in this thing, and Kip is the do it right or don't do it kind of guy, so he's like, you need this juice box macerator pump. So $1,500 later, I'm telling you, this boat is gonna suck every freaking penny out of me. $1,500 later, I've got this freaking massive sewage pump to pump out said massive sewage tank. But what's really cool about that is the sewage tank you can actually access. I took the whole bulkhead off of the tank and I can get into the tank. So the tank is huge. It's like a 300-gallon aluminum integral, I don't know for sure it's integral, I hope it's not, but it sure looks it, integral fuel tank. Not fuel, well, the fuel tanks are built the same way, but the sewage tank is what I'm talking about. I got the head back together. So this thing really frustrated me, so I stopped recording about halfway through, but there's the head. It's the new one, and the only thing that I have left to do here is wire up the button, because the old one used to have a flusher, so I hooked this one up with a button. But check it out, you touch these two wires together. She's a flusher. She needs to get her prime back, but she's a flusher. And on top of that, you come in this guest head, which needs to be patched up still, but I also fixed this one. I put it all back together, doesn't seem to be leaking, replaced a section of hose, reconnected all the fittings under there. Now we got a head that works here. Watch, it builds its pressure and then it just sucks. There it goes. Oh yeah. I don't think it's leaking. Doesn't appear to be leaking under there, which is good. But wow, this boat is a lot of freaking work. So the last part of the sewage system is what I'm working on right now, and I'll take you yonder to show you exactly what's going on. So, back up to the salon. So, you may remember me talking about this crazy $1,500 sewage pump. Here she blows. I've got all my fittings set up in here. I got them all tight. These are outlets. This is the inlet. I'm going with PVC for the inlet because I could not source the right bronze or brass parts. But Schedule 40 PVC is commonly used in a lot of places that involve sewage, so I don't see an issue with it. I think it'll be just fine. That pump's getting mounted right down there on that pedestal, and then this is all the plumbing. So I'm gonna drill the holes in the pedestal down there, and then I'm gonna mount this pump up. I got some nice stainless hardware ready to rip, and I got my right angle drill somewhere. So let's get to it.
What are you doing, poop pumper?
Struggling to get my prime.
But you know it sucks because you put your hand over it.
It sucks damn good suction. It's just, we've got a lot of pretty hardcore sediment. And, I'm gonna burn this fucking pump up. It's already hot.
Where's it pumping?
I knew this was gonna happen. That's why I wanted to use the pump out.
Me and Gus are getting ready to do late night repair. His friend, not all his friends anyways, just go on for the Florida trip. We come out here to help too. Gus put this pump in. He blew it up immediately, burnt it out. We're gonna take it out, fix it. Look at these units right here. Maximum suck through there. Well, when I first started the video, I said that you installed this pump and you were trying to prime it and it wasn't working so well, so the pump basically got semi-harmed immediately.
Yeah, the impeller got roached. All right, so now I have the entire sewage system. Oh, my headlamp's dead. I have the entire sewage system back online, with the exception of the macerator power is not hooked up yet. Instead, I just have it plugged in, came with a wall plug. But the whole problem as to why I burnt up the pump when I had just installed it was because the aluminum standpipe tube was actually rotted. It had a hole in it, so it couldn't get its prime. So I sleeved it with this big piece of 2-inch, I don't know if it's exhaust hose, but it's some really heavy duty wire reinforced hose. This pump is in operation now. On top of that, I resealed this whole bulkhead very nicely. Rubber gasket, I installed a new float switch in the tank for detecting when it's high, when it's full. And I hooked up the entire alarm system. So now, when this tank gets full, we have a bell that goes off at the helm, and this holding tank light comes on, and then there's another holding tank light that comes on at the helm. So you can rest assured that you will know when this holding tank is full. That alarm's going off, lights are blinking, all set. Come down here, either shut off or either turn on that pump if you're offshore, or flip some valves that I freed up. The valves are in operation now. And deck pump out of the port up there. Also, all 4 heads are in full operation. I got all those working. I had to replace a number of hoses. I had to replace one of the selector valves. I had to replace one water pump. I had to replace one fresh water or raw water tube that ran down the side of the boat to the aft heads for supply. But yeah, it all came together pretty nicely. All right, so today we are on a mission, and the mission is to really start the woodwork on this thing, make it look pretty again. So I've got a helper here today.
Oh look, it's Kip. Howdy. And this is Pablo. So I'm going around and scraping all these rails, and then he's coming up and sanding them, and they're gonna be nice and pretty. So this is all the stuff that I scrape off, all this old varnish, nasty freaking stuff. So I'm on the other side. I still have all this trim work to do, which I'll need a fine scraper for. Then I have all of this corroded, bubbling aluminum to deal with that somebody smeared some stuff on for some reason. Then I have all this. But I'll show you what I'm doing over here. Basically, this is how they all started. This is what they looked like when we started. And it's nice and shady over here. So I hit this with a propane torch, and then the varnish starts to bubble up, and then I scrape it off with my scraper. So me and Kip pulled the whole front rail off, and I went around and did some hardcore scraping. There was a lot of corroded aluminum buildup under here because the pedestals of this rail are all aluminum. So I scraped all this off, and we have some deep damage in this teak, but you know, it's gonna look okay. It's showing, she's showing her age, but it is what it is. So I've got my friend over here doing some sanding, and look at how nice this is coming out. I'm gonna go around the other way to show you. Oh, this is another thing I need to work on. Oh, nice. Kip started scraping all the crap off here, but I need to get some paint on these spots because they just look absolutely horrendous. But look at this rail. This is an idea of what we've started with. You know, there's a lot of spots where the stainless trim is just falling off, and then all of this trim is just beat. All this comes off. That's from the shore power cable dragging around, but all this teak needs to be completely redone. This rail looked like that. We got all this sanded, and it looks so much freaking better. It's amazing what some sanding does. So these will get varnished, and the cap rails will get oiled ultimately. I got my boarding ladder all set up, so now we can actually get on and off this thing. There's Bella staring at me so sad. But take a look at what this looks like. So much better. Looks freaking good. All that we're gonna have to turn the boat around to get to. Whew, that's beat. But that's nice. And that's nice. Unsanded? Sanded.
I'm about to do some buffing on Gus's Broward. Got a lot of these white marks here. Whatever it is. I don't know. I ain't a boating guy, but I am a buffing guy. I'm gonna get it all off. Heavy duty buff sesh. Sorry in advance, Gus, when it comes to this editing, fam. But look at this polish, dude. It's shining up pretty nice. A couple of these heavy calcified spots are gonna need more love, but yep. Well, I got most of this side of this boat scrubbed off and buffed. She's looking pretty good. Not too shabby. Looks like a mirror up in here. Young Nip in the house. Happy 4th. There's Gus. He's busy. He's getting ready to captain this boat. There's gonna be a lot of people on here tonight. This place is 4th of July up. It's gonna be an epic 4th of July night for sure. Fix it. Look at it, it looks awesome in here. Fuck yeah. Oh, sorry. Gus doesn't like when I swear. Happy 4th! We are getting ready to be underway.
Dude, those bow thrusters though.
Solid effort.
Solid effort. We went diving in for a phone.
Here, look this way from the sun.
She lost her phone. It's gone.
Official word?
Gone. Official word, gone. Maybe if there were more money on the line.
Let's go. That was sick, bro.
I'm gonna take a freight train down to the station low. I don't care where it goes. I'm gonna climb a mountain, the highest mountain low. I'll jump off, nobody gonna know. So can't you see? Can't you see what that woman she been doing to me? Can't you see? Oh no, can't you see what that woman she been doing to me? Now I'm gonna find me a hole in a wall. I'm gonna crawl inside and die. Because my lady now, I mean all the one below, she never told me goodbye. Can't you see? Can't you see what that woman she been doing to me? Well, can't you see? I know, can't you see what that woman she done to me? Yeah. Come on. Woo. Yeah, make some racket, come on. I'm gonna buy me a ticket now, just as far as I can. I ain't never coming back. We'll ride a little southbound.
All right, guys. So the woodwork on the Broward has come quite a ways.
I want to give you a quick show. It's not even close to being done yet. These, at this point, it's been a while since we sanded them. But Kip has really helped me out. He did such a nice job on these cap rails. They are like beautiful. The whole rail's back installed. The cap rail around the entire boat is done. These need to be varnished. I'll have to touch them back up. Probably not going to do it until I'm amongst my travels, but they are beautiful. All of the wood around the boat is sanded and stripped except for the accents, but
that's, you know, this is something that I can do when I'm cruising this winter. I can do that. Now, one amazing thing, Kip really hooked it up here. He's like a master woodworker. He rebuilt these doors for me. Originally, I took one door off and I'm like, all right, I want to go upstairs in the wood shop and I'm gonna fix this thing right now. Little did I know what a process it would be to actually fix them. This entire bottom panel was rotted. So what he did, or what we did, is I went out to a teak store and I bought one teak plank, and it was like $400. It was ridiculous. We brought it to a friend of Kip's who's like a real insane woodworker, has this crazy wood shop. We ran the teak board through a bandsaw, cut it into thin slices so that we could use the slices to rebuild this without having to use teak ply. So this is done like very legitimately. Very nicely, very legitimately. Obviously the trim's not done yet, but the doors are done. So right now I'm gonna take a moment to show you guys the footage that I do have of the rebuild of these doors. It's pretty crazy. It was quite the endeavor. I would say realistically he has at least 15-20 hours each one of these doors.
Door repair, Broward. Gus was learning how to do some woodworking. Few years of woodworking experience.
The experience is evident.
So was a timber framer. Now we're in his cabinet shop.
She moved on me.
So the Broward's door is coming along quite nice. Kip has done everything here, and he's managed to route out the old inside of this door and cut these pieces perfectly to size so that they fit nicely. It looks awesome. The wood has a slight color difference, but that's just standard.
So this right here is the finished product. He must have 8 to 10 coats of varnish on here. The way that he does the varnish is he thins it way out and then works his way up to a solid coat of varnish. But look at how nice this door came out. The wood color difference never even ended up being a factor. I mean, this is really, it is beautiful. So nice.
Thanks, Kip. I've been balls to the walls working on this boat.
Right now, I just took the main sea chest out. Basically, there's one big through hole that services all of the stuff. You've got the air conditioning pump, you've got the generator, you've got the aft heads, you've got the forward head, you've got all sorts of stuff coming out of here. And all these things are just wobbling around in the breeze. So nothing was really working properly because it was sucking air. So the boat's really starting to come together. She is a quality freaking unit. But that's next on the list. I'm gonna go bring that up to the shop, clean it up, and she'll be brand spanking new. My all-purpose utility vehicle. Thing's freaking heavy though. All right, I got all our pieces cleaned up, and she's good to go. Mike. So now I'm gonna put it back together in the boat, and she'll be good to go.
You said, son, that day your mama went away with a damn near tore me apart. She sang you to sleep, that memory keeps a piece of her in my heart. So when I heard the band about to play our song, it was her way of saying that I gotta move on. Raise your glass and sing along. We're all right where we belong. Whether you're a country boy or a country girl, from the city, the sticks, or open road, raise your glass and sing along. Raise 'em up now.
So if I put water in here, Gus, it should drop out and not fill up. You have.
All right,
Where's
it's
the water?
12:47 a.m.
So fucking
and
hard at it.
I was squirting in there. You care to explain what we're doing at 1 in the morning, Kip?
Oh, we're diving into the valve.
So
Diving deep, the only way you like it.
I just put this whole sea chest back together, and now we're trying to get the AC pump primed up, but we can't seem to.
Electricity and aluminum, standing in water.
Yeah.
It's great. Great combination. Love it.
So we just took the gate valve out of the main suction port for all the accessories. The generators, the toilets, or the heads, I should say, and the air conditioning all suck through this one big strainer.
Not a good sucker right now.
It's not a good sucker right now. That's the gate valve. You want tape on that?
No, there is tape on it.
Oh, watch out! There's some crap. See the crap?
We'll put some tape on it.
Might as well.
Alright guys, at this point in the video, we're going to take a step away from the Broward, and I'm going to show you guys all of the stuff that I have been up to this summer. And this is really only a fraction of it, but there is a lot of good stuff right here. Hopefully this answers all the questions in the comments about how do you afford to do this, and how are you doing this, and I don't understand, trust fund, blah blah blah. I work so hard every day to keep this going. Hence why sometimes so much time elapses between my video releases, because it's tough. I got a lot going on. So I hope you guys enjoy this section of this video. There's a lot of cool stuff right here. All right, mission number 1 of the day.
Let's throw this boat on the trailer, and I'm gonna bring it
To Newburyport. I think it's about an hour and a half each way, maybe, hopefully. Hour and a half, hopefully no more. I am off to Newburyport
in the old white Ford.
All right, pulling into Newburyport, Cashman's public boat ramp, the Cashman Park public boat ramp. This is the Merrimack River. I've spent a lot of time on this river, and you know, in the old days on the little boats, and then nowadays on the big boats passing through. But in this case, just using the boat launch to launch. Well, I'd say that's a mission accomplished, and now it's back to Portland, back to Southport, and back to work. All right, so on the mission list for right now, last night I worked on the Harley and found some highly broken things inside. You might see some metal down in there and stripped out gears. That's a different story, we'll get to that. But this thing's getting a wheel cylinder, so let's jack her up. Get her a pot. Alrighty, so it is Friday now, and on the mission list is to remove injectors and fuel pump on engine, send out for repair compression test. So I'm going to be working on a 3-cylinder diesel Westerbeek engine that's in a Catamaran. I'm going to pull the injectors out of it, I'm going to pull the injection pump off of it, they're going to send that stuff out. I'm going to do a compression test on the motor, and yeah, I think that's it. So I will go get on that right now. I think what I'm gonna take with me is my 3/8 drive socket set. And I think I'm gonna take some wrenches. Normally I'd be taking my shoes off to get in boats, but this boat hasn't been detailed yet, so we're good. So, 3/8 drive socket set. Let's take a quick look at my new Master Diesel compression test kit. Ooh, Harbor Freight. I love Harbor Freight. That's a nice kit. Oh, the gauge goes to 1000 psi. Nice. All right. Guessing the engine's in here. Oh, guessed correctly. All right, so this is what we're dealing with right here. We do have glow plugs on this Westerbeek, so I'll probably do the compression test through the glow plug holes. We got some chipping paint. All right, I plumbed air all the way out here just so I could
just blow this thing out before I start taking her apart. Aww, I lost air pressure. All right, round 2. Perfect. I've got the glow plugs out, and it's compression test time. $500. That's 500 right on the dot. Numero dos. $500. Well, that's $495. All right. Now it's time for cylinder numero 3. Uh-oh. Huh. 200. Let me just double check this. Oh, that's definitely tight. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. So we're dealing with 2 cylinders at 500, and the aftmost cylinder is 250. Yeah. I'm still gonna pull the injectors out and the injection pump, but maybe I should call the service manager first just to see if he wants me to do that. Now it's time to have a injection pump pulling party. Alrighty, well, to make a long story short, it got dark and I had to go eat some food, but I wanted to finish this tonight. Well, at least finish disassembling it. So I got the injectors out, I got the injection pump out, had to take this little side cover off to undo a linkage. 1 Westerbeek / actually a Mitsubishi injection pump, and 3 Mitsubishi injectors. Now that stuff's gonna go off to the injection shop and be back in a week or so. I'll throw it all back together, except for that 1 cylinder that's low on compression, which might just be some stuck rings. I'll look into it. I'll do a leak down test. It should be good. 250 psi is enough to run. So, one of many projects. All right. Right now, it is time to get back to work on the sailboat I was working on. Pulled the injection pump out on Friday, I think. It's Monday. And I am setting up the leak down tester. This is my friend Mike's leak down tester. Out of my injection kit, diesel compression test kit, I was able to find a adapter that fits in the injector hole, and then finagled it together with Mike's leak down tester, and now I'm gonna go pump some air into that weak cylinder and see what it does. This is my yard transportation. I'm 5 times more productive in mobility. All right, so
real seating back here. There's no cushions to sit.
we're going to pressurize the cylinder that had low compression, and we're gonna see where she leaks down to, how much she leaks down, and where she leaks down to.
How much air are you going to put in there?
Probably 50-60 psi. What do you think?
Green show.
What do you think we should put in it for pressure?
Well, we do an air start.
I don't want it to spin. When you start pumping pressure into the cylinder at top dead center, the engine oftentimes wants to turn. Alright, as you can see, we have a major leak down occurring. So now we're going to listen to see,
I bet it's carbon up valves.
is it coming out of the crankcase vent, is it coming out through the exhaust, or is it coming out through the intake manifold?
I bet you anything it's leaking.
Rings.
Rings?
It's coming right out of the...
Carbon up.
Put your ear on that.
Carbon up. Probably smokes. It's like rubber powder coated.
Rubber powder coated. From what?
From the belt wearing off. From the eating belts. Because of a probably slipping. Oh yeah.
Poorly mounted alternator.
Yeah. Looks like someone just did this arrangement.
Yeah, you can see the alternator's flexing.
Yeah. Shouldn't be doing that. You end up breaking that bracket.
We got all the parts back for it. I've got 3 new injectors, injection pump. I'm gonna go slap her together right now. That bad girl looks good. Let's slap her in. Freaking one-handed. Oh my god, I can't be doing this one-handed. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it back together, and then I'll take a video of it put back together. Alright, so there she is. I put it all back together, put the injection pump in, hooked everything up, put the injectors in, put the glow plugs in, set up the shut-off solenoid in its proper position because it's totally adjustable. And yeah, so she's pretty much ready to go. I just need to blow out the injector lines, put the injector lines on, bleed the fuel system, test everything, plumb some water to her. She should be good to go. Then I'll clean this boat up, make it look good. All right. So my documentation process of this Catamaran reassembly has not been the best, but what I just did was I put all of the injector lines back on, I put the return manifold on, and I pulled the fuel line off, put a mock water pipe going to the water pump. That way I can run it right off of a hose and not have to try and jam a hose up through the through hole. So now I'm gonna prime everything and bleed the injectors and get her running. Water's running into my tube, hooked up to the water pump, bled the injectors, bam. You have to hold preheat, does the fuel pump and the glow plugs, and then so I think I got all the carbon out of the rings on that one cylinder that was a little low on compression. I just gave her a good whoop, and she's running better and better and better. Like, listen to this thing. The complaint was always hard starting, not running good. runs mint. Look at this. Off. On. Thing is mint. Absolutely mint. All right, so that wraps up the sailboat project. Now I've got all sorts of other shit to wrap up. All right, to finish the night off, I took my dirt bike out of my trailer. Tomorrow I'm going to Nashua, the hometown, to visit my friend Ansel and some other friends and do some dirt bike riding. Should be fun. All right, it's a Sunday morning at Southport Marine. Young Nip's here.
Yo, this is very tasty.
It's tasty, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is Kachava. This is my new wonderful health drink. What do we got going on here, boys?
Stock boat.
So they had this boat.
3A Marine. They glued his 8-foot long bunkers to the bottom of his boat, and now we can't get it off. The trailer's floating.
Oh.
We got it backed up and the trailer's floating.
They have epoxy bottom paint, fresh epoxy bottom paint job that glued it to the trailer. They backed the trailer all the way in. The trailer's floating. Vic, what are we doing today?
Not lobstering. Not riding four-wheelers.
We're going riding today.
Hell yeah.
All right, so I'm thinking we can't tie it to the dock because then we'd be ripping on the docks, and that's not a good idea.
Didn't look like that idea.
I think what we need to do is back the trailer in more to the point where the trailer's floating, get in the boat, fire it up, and put it in reverse.
We did that twice.
Did you?
Yep.
And you gave it...
And jamming the trailer back and hitting the brakes of the truck.
So reverse, boat in reverse didn't get it off the trailer.
I'm thinking maybe that.
We're gonna have to... Wow. It's really stuck. That's good right there, because that'll help suck it up.
Kind of lift it up a little bit.
We can't tie it to the dock and drive, but you can tie it to something like that. That's much stronger than the dock. All right, right there, good. All right, give it some serious gas in reverse. Just right up. I've got a way better, way safer idea. You ready?
Jeez.
Point the door.
Oh, there you go. Oh, nice.
We'll just lift up because we can lift right off the back in a controlled manner.
Yeah, slowly.
Just do a little at a time or something.
Perfect fit. That's separated.
Did it?
Oh yeah.
Completely off.
Yeah, completely off.
I think it's
totally
the other
off.
side, right?
I think it's good. Just the other side now?
Yeah, do the other side. The bottom is disconnected too.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Yep, at least this side of the bottom one.
Guys, we have to go sail that striper today. Probably won't be doing any boating today, huh?
I wasn't really planning on it, but
Maybe now you oughta.
What's his name again?
Gus.
Gus.
this one's stuck.
Think it is?
Yeah.
Just the end.
Oh, it's that center one. I see it trying to rip off right now.
Got it. Marina, jump on this side.
What, 'cause it's powder?
Yeah, no,
If you look too, you can see it.
The yard arms are definitely the move for this one.
There, yeah, it's starting to go.
It's starting to go.
You got it, you got it. All right, you got that. Now it's just this section right here stuck.
What about the bottom rollers?
Keep sanding. It's coming. Keep doing that. Yep. Yep, keep going. Same thing. Keep bouncing. Right there, it's stuck.
Yep. You got like a plastic pry bar?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
You got a
going.
sawzall?
Keep going. It's almost there. There's one, and there she is. She's free.
Awesome. All right.
There she blows.
Joss, hey,
Dude.
let's get this thing off.
All right.
And I'm gonna give you a tip for your troubles. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
We need your card or your contact info.
Hey, hold on.
You want me to grab this aft line?
Yeah, if you can reach it. Oh, don't jump, we'll get it. Don't do it on the camera. There it goes. Okay, you're good. Yep. Ready?
Sweet.
Awesome.
Nice. Look at that. That's a mission accomplished, I'd say, right there.
Good video.
Yeah, it was stuck in just a few spots. It didn't
But it
take any
doesn't-
paint off
but
or
it
anything.
doesn't even look that bad.
No, it's like what
a
you
spot
said.
There.
Yeah, it was just really freaking stuck.
Yeah.
Phew.
All right, we're going riding today in Maine for the first time. We just registered, so we're legal. We parked the trucks in here last night so that nobody stole our machines. This is my machine, 09 CRF 450X. And Young Nip has a Scrambler 500. Tell him what you did to my old Scrambler 10 years ago.
I totaled it. I hit a rock and rolled it.
Kip, do you care to share with the world what you're doing in here?
No. Fine.
Making bigger holes.
Some rot repair action while I'm building a setup to, I need to mount this vise, and I want to do it in such a way where I can insert it right into each corner of this table as I please. I can move it around, I can twist it sideways, although you can twist like that as well, but I want it insertable and removable. So we're gonna go over to the weld shop and make that happen. All right, this piece of square tubing fits quite nicely in that corner. I made myself a 6" by 6" piece in this 1/4" plate steel. I'm gonna cut this. I was gonna cut it with a plasma cutter, but I'm gonna cut it with my angle grinder instead, just to make a really nice clean cut. Alrighty, I got my piece built, and now I'm going to weld her up. I'm gonna TIG weld her up, because that's more fun.
all cleaned up. Not perfect, but not bad for first time welding since I got back from Florida this year. Alright, so I just mocked this piece up. Slides around this piece of square tubing. Just welded these here temporarily because it's going to get welded around here. So when I insert this thing into there, it stays nice and tight and it's all good. So I'm going to grind those welds. This whole thing will slide off. I'll weld this to that and then it'll be complete. I'll just mount the vise. Perfecto. All right. It is 8:54 a.m. and today I'm going to work on Kip's crane. This is a Terex crane. Pretty awesome unit, 35-ton machine. Last year we did all sorts of work to this thing. All sorts of cab rebuilding. Took a couple of the windows out. I rebuilt like the top of that window frame. Cleaned out there's this big electronic swivel armature that allows like over 100 electrical connections to maintain connection when you spin on the turntable, and that was all messed up, so we cleaned that out and fixed that last year. But regardless of that, today's project is whoever installed all the lines for the outriggers routed them wrong. So last year we had one set of lines rupture. I don't know, they I can't remember if they got pinched off and blew or if they were just chafing and getting ready to blow and one was loose and leaking. Either way, this one just blew. So I am going to disassemble this, pull the cylinder out, and we're going to see which line is bad and fix it. So I'm going to get on that right now. All right, here's the dealio. I got all the lines disconnected and plugged off on this side of the cylinder. These caps and plugs, we've got this kit, and it's actually from Amazon. I'll put it on my Amazon store. It is a blah 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 JIC plug and cap kit. And this is awesome for any hydraulic work because you can just plug and cap any project you're working on to keep fluid from dripping out and leaking everywhere. But I got the big pin out of this side right here, and this is holding the other end of the cylinder up right now. And then I've got the two long lines disconnected. These are likely, well, these are definitely the lines that are blown, and you can actually see where they've been chafing down in this little crevice here. But either way, what I'm going to do now is get ready to pull that out, and then this big long cylinder is going to come all the way out of this thing. I'm going to have to move these stands, and I'll probably have just enough room to pull this whole cylinder out. I think it would have been a little easier to put the outrigger back in, but I don't think the outrigger was going back in with the hydraulic leak. It looks like it was a pretty nice leak. So I'll set the camera up and we'll see if we can pull this thing out. All right, I want to show you what happened here. Someone, the last person to install these lines, this is the same thing that we ran into on the other side, routed them wrong. You know, see, this is all bent. Lines are popping out of their frickin' holders right here. And this line just got totally bent over backwards. And that's where it blew, is right there. This one was getting ready to blow too. Maybe this one blew. One of these blew. Totally frickin' messed up. So I'll bend this back. I'll go get 2 new lines made, and we'll be back in business here. All right, we got some brand spanking new lines.
The other strap should be like right around here.
And now we're gonna set these new lines up correctly. Kip's got a nice picture of what they're supposed to look like. And we'll get it reinstalled nicely. All right, so now that we're all back together somewhat, we've got our hoses snaked up.
I need a fucking bigger bar.
And we need to, no, I can get it in there. I'm gonna lift the cylinder.
Go ahead.
And then we need to put the pin through there. So I'm gonna lift.
Okay.
And then we'll jam.
It's lined up.
Lift and jam.
All right, get ready to.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep. Yep. Up, down. Oh. There you go.
Wow, that was a lot easier than last time, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's what they give you the hole for. How did we overlook that?
All right. Now.
Victor!
I'd like to set up a lobster tank here at Southport Marine, and I'm down here for off the boat local fresh lobster.
You guys remember Vic from the main lobstering video?
Yeah.
Vic's gonna be selling his fresh catch at the marina. You guys can come buy lobster fresh off the tilt or fresh out of the trap.
Absolutely.
Versus having to go to Shaw's for it.
And fuel.
And fuel, yeah. So you can come fuel your boat up, you can buy some lobster, you can buy some beers in the Marina store, and you might just see me here somewhere. All right, so this is done. Before I put my tools away, I need to clean them all off, but everything should be pretty good. So I'm gonna get in the crane. Well, first I'm gonna clean up my tools, then I'm gonna get in the crane, I'm gonna fire it up, we're gonna test it. So I will clean up. Alright, well, it's working. I'm gonna go get Kip to actuate these things while I can look and check for leaks and stuff. And then we'll be in business. Alright, let's see it operate. Woo. So I looked in there and the hoses were rolling nicely. Mission crane complete, and it is barely even lunchtime. Well, it's 1 p.m. All right, so right now we are going to start on I'm on the one wheel. We're gonna start on a cool little project that I think you guys will enjoy. I'm working on a metal boat today. So it's already the evening. I've been putzing around with stuff all day, but I just fished Kip's nice welder generator with the suitcase unit out of the back. As you can see, she doesn't get that much use. But I took my tank off my little welder, and I'm gonna take this thing outside and weld, I believe, 19 zincs onto this steel fishing boat. Let's go take a look at the steel fishing boat real quick. All right. So this thing is an absolute unit. This is fishing vessel, high roller. And here's the deal. The owner of the boat cut all the zincs off and he left me a bunch of zincs scattered about. But all of these little stanchions are where the zincs get welded on. Bam, bam. And then they're all over the boat. Bam, there, here. So what I'm gonna do is go around with a grinder, and I'm gonna flatten these all out so they're clean and ready to blast some new zincs on. All right, so I am getting ready to start the welding process. I'll show you the setup. This is the machine. It's a Bobcat 250 with a gas motor. This is a bottle of 75-25 argon CO2. This right here is a Miller Extreme 12VS voltage sensing wire feed suitcase unit. When Kip bought this thing, I did all sorts of research on like what the best one to get for what we were doing is. He has all sorts of seawall welding to do and stuff, but it's perfect for this. We're using this dual shield wire. You use gas along with, it's a flux cord wire, which is really cool. Awesome for like underwater applications, welding zincs on stuff like this. It's great.
It's getting kind of dangerous. Feels like it's a loaded gun. My, stunning like a cloud of dust. My heart always wants to run. Oh, if you want to cowboy on a white horse, riding out into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for, hold on tight, girl, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. White horse. Someday, maybe you could have your way. Right now, just not the time. Some things a man just got to do. I wish you could change my mind. If you want a cowboy on a white horse, riding out into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for, hold on tight, girl, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. White If you want a cowboy on a white horse, riding out into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for, hold on tight, girl, I ain't there. If you want a cowboy on a white horse, riding out into the sunset, if that's the kind of love you want to wait for, hold on tight, girl, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. No, I ain't there yet. White
All right, so that concludes Operation Weld Zincs onto fishing boat. I'll show you guys, but before I show you those, just see this. It's like to regular metal, untouched metal. That was just a quick bead I blasted down. They come out a whole lot better than, even though that's not perfect. I think a weld inspector would say that's shit because there's porosity. But when you try and weld stuff like this, it's tricky. They painted over some of it, but kind of show you what we got going on back here where I welded them onto the rudder. You can see they're on there nicely. The welds do not look awesome. It's just kind of the nature of it. But they're on there, and they're definitely not going to fall off. It's a lot of zincs. Just like that. Done. That line looks, it's an interesting paint line. All right, it is July 12th, I think. I just got a call that we have a boat coming in that is sinking, a wooden boat, and I need to haul it out. So I've only played with the travel lift. I haven't really ran it. So I'll record it. Shouldn't be too bad. See how it goes. All right, mission success. I got some cool Insta360 footage and I'll show you guys the damage of what's going on here. Nice boat, really nice boat. So they had it picked up by a trailer. He just dropped it back in the water today at 2:30 and the trailer pad was facing the wrong direction and it freaking broke the planking, cracked the hull. So he was taking on water, but it all worked out. We got him out of the water. She's all placed on blocks very nicely. And on to the next project. Ladies and gentlemen, today is gonna be a good day. So it's about noontime right now and I just got back from getting my Volvo tractor trailer truck inspected. Today I am headed down to, I forget the name of the exact town, but somewhere near Plymouth, Mass from Portland, Maine, to pick up a boat, a big boat, by land. So I figured I'd key you guys in. In case you don't know, I'm also a truck driver. Well, I have a tractor trailer license and I can drive a truck. So I was never really a truck driver, but I used to haul scrap metal for my friend Ansel in his scrap metal yard. All right, so here's the unit we're taking here. A beautiful Hostar. The owner of Hostar actually watches these videos, I'm pretty sure. Awesome guy. And these are awesome trailers. Heavy duty. So right here is the Volvo. I've had this truck for years and years, since before I even had a tractor trailer license. And she is a unit. Single axle, 10-speed. Volvo motor, which is a little but it runs good, 400 something horse. And I'm gonna get to servicing. I already did that side and now I'm gonna do this side. So 3 out of 3 were good. This one had a little water spill action. Whew. What do you think of that, Mike?
Toast.
Toast. All right. So, little water damage, because this basically what happened was this got curbed. They lost the rubber cap. Water got in. Other 3 are great. I did all the bearings and races on this thing last year. This one, bearings a little chewed up. Some of these are missing. There's a couple little chunks taken out. I don't know if you can see. But I'm putting a new bearing in it. Gotta pack her up. She'll be good to go. All right. Finally, I'm on the road. I got a late freaking start today, but I'm in the Volvo. I'm ready to go. Got the Hostar behind me. And I'm going to Sewage, Massachusetts. Believe it or not, crazy thing just happened. My friend Pat that I met in Norfolk, he knew me from YouTube. You guys saw him in the last video. Quick flash clip.
Stepped off the dock and there was Gus on one-wheeling with, of course, some boat parts in his hand. Of course. We're a big fan and love to watch the channel.
Well, he sorry. To record and drive this truck and shift it at the same time. it's a freaking chore. But anyways, Pat came and said hi to me at the marina. He's here in Maine on his 63 Hatteras. So I just gave him a ride back over the bridge. He's staying at a marina over on the other side that's in town. So it's pretty freaking cool. But anyways, I am off. I am on my way to Scituate. 3 hours, it's 5 o'clock. I'm going to hit massive amounts of traffic. In the old Volve, so off we go. Here we are. Oh, this looks so nice over here. Wow. Hopefully there's like these power lines look low. We're gonna be way over height, so we got permits, but hopefully we can get out of here. Alrighty. Go take a look-see. I'm pretty sure that's the boat. I need to get my phone though. Look at some pictures, make sure that's it. All right, I found the boat, and it's a big, big girl. This is gonna be on my list of sketchies, and I have a lot on the list, but yeah, so here she is. She's a unit. She's a unit. All right, so definitely in too deep again with this one. That's a big boat. What do you think, Mikey?
One way to find out, guys. 400 miles. What could go wrong?
Oh, we don't want anything going wrong. That's for sure. That's a big boat for going over the road. I wish I could get those trim tabs to go up. Mikey, you know what we should do?
What's up?
Do you have jumper cables?
I do.
Let's put power to the battery so we can get those trim tabs up, and then we don't need to stack 2x4s. Less shit to fall off. All right, into deep hauling on behalf of Southport Marine. Here we go.
That actually doesn't look too tall.
No, it doesn't look too, it's probably like just over. It actually felt like surprisingly stable pulling it out of there.
Looks legit from my house.
It actually does look legit. I like that it's wrapped, Mikey, because shit's not gonna fly out of it.
I do too. Hey, if we come up a little,
Yeah.
line this up. Up or down, it's up to you.
Down will be better.
Let's go down. Keep going. That's good.
I'm gonna relieve the load on the hydraulic cylinder.
On. And you're good. There you go.
Perfect.
Sitting on that now.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Good, Gus. You want to
That actually doesn't look bad either. That doesn't look bad.
not legit.
It does, it does. The wrap is helpful.
Yeah, the wrap looks good.
2:01 a.m. I am beat. Oh. Wow. Almost hitting the roof. So we made it back to Maine. Look at this thing. This thing is a freaking monstrosity. Oh yeah, we're losing shrink wrap and everything. So here's the aftermath of last night's extravaganza. Kip, I need some wise words.
It fits good on that.
What do you think about our adventure?
Nothing like having appropriate permits for the job. Which we did have.
We actually did have the permits. Wow. That right there is a blown up 454. Although it's a fuel injected one. They pulled the whole intake manifold off of it. Oh shit, the intake's off of it. Penta. Oh, it's straight shaft. It's not even V-drive. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna pull this intake off and see what it looks like in there. Oh, those manifolds are junk. This thing's pretty, oh wow, that's a lot of parts.
All kinds of shit. One-stop shop, Gus. He blew out his hatch, but it's got AC.
Oh, they labeled stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was up till 4 in the morning last night. But I'd say this concludes our adventure. I must add, the Hostar didn't even flinch at this thing. This thing towed like a champ. No swaying. It just ate it. Ate it for dinner. There goes Jimmy! Woo! Sounds good! Made a protein shake. Protein.
We gotta check to make sure I don't have a leak. What are you doing? Have lunch?
Little lunch. Sounds good. This is a pivotal moment in Southport history. The new travel lift is driving onto the pier for the first time ever. And it looks like it fits, which is a good sign. All right. So right now we're taking a trip in the old John Deere tractor. Oh, take a look at that unit right there. You see that gem of a boat? Well, I'm gonna be reviving that boat. That's a legendary 46-foot Hatteras convertible sport fish. But anyways, right this moment I'm going to hook up to my Aqua Sport, which is identical to the Aqua Sport that I have in Florida. I need something to be able to cruise on. So this right there is that. That's stuck down. Maybe, just maybe, I disconnected the battery. I sure did, see? I know enough to do that. So we're gonna hook the battery back up here and see if she's got any juice in her. I bet you she's got enough to lift the motor up. Look at that. Here she blows. Definitely a little more beat than the one that I have in Florida, that's for sure.
Home Depot. How doers get
First things first, this thing's leaking gear oil everywhere. Definitely needs that seal. Alright, so I've spent the last like 3 hours working on the old Aqua Sport, and let me tell you, she's a little beat up. Pulled the plugs out, cleaned the plugs, probably should replace them, whatever. Pulled the thermostats out, definitely needs thermostats, but I put them back in because I can't get them today. Changed the lower unit oil, messed around with the trim oil, it was full of water. Gonna add some more fresh fluid. What else? Oh, all sorts of electrical nightmare stuff going on. Look at this. I had to replace all sorts of wire and switches and stuff. It's a total nightmare how this thing is. I know it's a big mess in here. It's amazing. Look at what happened to the harness. It's like parts of it got water in it and just completely corroded away. Like where that lump is right there, same thing. Total disconnect in the wire. Right there, totally green. Destroyed. The old Aqua's going in the water right now. Tide's a little low. I might lose the trailer off the drop-off. Just enough. Set the old parking brake. Shut her down. Oh, she's a runner. Smells like a snowmobile. She died. She's barely running. Hopefully she gets me home. Oh, there she goes.
Or leave it up there. I guess you'd have to fucking...
So, the pressure washer wouldn't start, and something simple turned into something not so simple. It broke a rocker arm, and upon further investigation, one of the valves wouldn't move, so now this thing's getting taken apart into a million pieces. Just another beautiful day at the marina. What do we got going on here? Sean!
What's up, buddy?
What do we got going on here?
Electrolytes
Electrolytes!
on a hot day.
You guys are doing some major dock renovations here.
Yep, adding some flotation and got another piece going back there.
Wow. So this thing was just too heavy.
Yep, it's got quite a slant on it.
She's looking good. You built this whole box, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, rugged. Only way to do it.
It's looking mighty fine, dude. Mighty fine. All right, so coming down the dock here. We've got the Broward parked on the service dock. And I know that my friend Jim has some crazy operations going on up here in the storage building. We're gonna go give him a little checkup. So you come on in the building and you got this big old boat that was once yellow. Now it's sky blue.
Sky blue.
Jim's custom painting. We're gonna have to paint my boat next, Jim.
Yeah, we are.
He did an amazing
We'll
job.
have extra paint.
So this
You
is...
can match me unless you're gonna go white.
Look at your shirt, it matches the boat. To a degree. Wow. Oh, that's awesome. I gotta get a picture of you there. Yeah, she came out
It's ready for a
really
second
nice.
coat.
Is it?
It is.
Well, you better call the wife and tell her you're gonna be late.
Nope. This old man's going home.
I see man left. Oh lordy. Jim!
Yo!
What do you got going on here?
Chip's making me resand it. Doesn't like it.
Uh-oh.
So I gotta go all through this again. Start from the beginning.
Well, it's definitely gonna look damn good. I think it looks freaking damn
But it
good.
really needs it.
It needs it.
You can see it when I started sanding. There's quite a bit of inconsistencies, almost like a really heavy orange peel.
Yeah.
So what's nice about this is you can really see once you get all the orange peel out, it comes right back to dead flat. And you can see like here where you can see the highlights. If you hit it really good, it'll just take them all right down.
Wow. Yeah, no, definitely smooths it right out.
There's the man that I'm redoing it because of. Yeah, I like to see people sweat. Sweat from hard working.
This guy right here does everything right though. You can count on the job getting done as perfectly as possible. If it's not perfect, he doesn't want to see it. And that's actually a really good trait to have. Kip has taught me so much, like utmost appreciation. I've got my little workstation going. This is Jim's 58 Ocean. Nice frickin' boat. Thing's beautiful. I got the Grady White in the building. And I'm gonna show you what I got going on here. I think I already said, but I put that motor on it last year. Just need to repaint the cowl. But she had a very, very bad fuel tank. These tanks are expensive. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I can't be spending $1,000 on a tank for this thing, or $1,500 on a tank for this thing. I found this freaking tank on Marketplace for $300. It's brand new from Florida Marine Tanks. The guy got it for his Grady, and I don't know what happened, but didn't work out. Selling it on Marketplace. Basically, I built some new bracing. As in built bracing, I mean cut 2x4s. That's what was already in there. Although you would think pine shouldn't be down in a boat, but I need to replace the filler neck tube now. So I'm gonna pull the filler neck out of here. It has an auxiliary tank. That's the auxiliary fill. That's the main fill. This is the main tank, and the aux tank is underneath it. I'm gonna pull that out, and I've got some nice new hose here, and I'm going to install the new hose and then throw the new tank in, and then this thing, with another probably 12 hours of work, will be ready to rip ski.
All right. Lovely, ingenious fucking engineering.
You care to explain what's going on here, Kip?
Yeah, the engineers got the best of you. That's what happened.
Uh-oh. So it
looked
appears...
really good on paper before they filmed everything.
It appears as if they foamed the filler neck tube into this vessel. So we might have to cut some access to get in there. You think we're gonna have to cut access?
I think we need...
That's terrible.
Can you move that up and down?
Every video I have of you, you're jammed into some crevice.
Yeah, I fit well in crevices. Pretty good, I can still contort myself in these fine vessels.
Oh, I see you over there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a fine vessel, all right.
Well, I need, you know what I need is, there it is.
What? Is it moving?
Well, I can see it, but
All right, so right here we're doing some cowl repair. This belongs on the Grady White, and I already sanded it all down, taped it off. Now I just mixed up some Bondo. That's going alive right now, so I better get to work. But I wanted to get a before. Nice little crack in the upper cowling here, so I'm gonna do my best body repair here. Gus's body work, and let's fix this thing up. All right, so the Grady is almost ready to rip ski. Cowl's looking mighty fine. Not perfect. Close enough. What do you think? Good enough?
Yeah. Good to go.
Oh, you got some grease for the trim cylinders, huh?
Yep.
Thank you. So I am gonna put the deck plates back in, but I left this one out so that I can check for leaks. I'm gonna go put some fuel in it, and I'll finish cleaning her up. She'll be ready to rip. All right, guys, so that's a pretty good look at what I've been up to this summer at the Marina in Portland, Maine. Massive, massive shout out to Southport Marine, South Portland, Maine. My friend Kip has really taken care of me. All the guys here are awesome. It's such an awesome place to be. If you need your boat hauled for maintenance, winter storage, indoor, outdoor, or you want to slip for the summer, come on over, Southport Marine, South Portland, Maine. Next time on In Too Deep, you're gonna see me haul this boat, the Broward, out of the water again to prepare it for a massive journey this winter. It is going to be absolutely epic. So make sure you stick around and hit that subscribe button. I assure you it will be a lot less than a month until the next video this time. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on In Too Deep.